It's Friday night and you've got nothing better to do, which can mean only one thing. It's time for Since the Last Show, the #1 news segment covering things from the already heavily discussed to the things we blatantly make up. With your hosts, Emma Philippoon and Zach Whitten.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zach. Line. Oh yeah, Zach Whitten, thank you, yes.
And I'm Emma Philippoon.
I'm glad one of us knows our name.
So where do we even begin with this Since the Last Show? I mean, the last time we covered the news, it was November. Think about that. It wasn't even Thanksgiving yet. Winter was still in the process of getting ready to freeze us all to death, and people were singing and dancing in the streets.
No, they weren't.
So that was just me, okay?
Yeah. Speaking of singing and dancing in the streets, the revolution in the Ukraine. Also, Crimea voted to secede from Ukraine and join Russia.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was quoted as saying, "It's a lot like moving out of your alcoholic mother's house to move in with your alcoholic, abusive father."
Breaking news, 2 people were offended by that joke.
More breaking news, those 2 people have been rushed to the hospital to have sticks removed from their hinds.
Turning to intergalactic news, a huge component of the Big Bang Theory was proven with the discovery of graviton waves. Turning to CNU Tonight news, no one in this room will understand what that means.
Speaking of not understanding things, basketball and statistics. Apparently, creating a perfect bracket could get you $1 billion from Warren Buffett. And if you think that you can make a perfect bracket, then you probably also think that a dry campus was a solid idea.
President Obama recently joked that America has started working on developing an Iron Man suit. Many dismissed the president as making a joke. However, others have pointed out this comment was totally just to distract from America's experiment with gamma radiation. Like 2 of you who got that.
In other national news, the Seattle Seahawks have been brought up on sexual assault charges, otherwise known as the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. That was a thing.
Here to discuss their victory is infamous Seattle Seahawks player Richard Sherman. Hey, Richard.
Yeah. I'm not Richard Sherman. I'm just the only non-white person left in the cast.
Hey, so Richard, can you tell us a little bit of your victory over the Denver Ponies?
No, I can't, Zach, because I'm Brian, not Richard Sherman.
All right.
So, Mr. Sherman, what do you think of the new documentary that recently came out about you?
Are you talking about Mr. Peabody and Sherman?
Yes, I am.
That's not a documentary, and I'm not Richard Sherman.
Richard, can you give us a sense of what the locker room was like after such a dominant performance in the game many thought you were going to lose?
Yeah.
No, I can't, because I'm not Richard Sherman. But I imagine it swelled pretty stale and like a lot of sweat.
Okay, so Richard, what have you been up to since the end of the season?
You know, I'm pretty sure this is racist. I mean, I don't see you confusing anyone else in the cast with Richard Sherman.
Any parting words before you go, Richard?
I am the greatest quarterback of all time! You want greatness? I'm stepping it every morning! You want greatness? You can scrape it off the bottom of my shoe! You come at me with a mediocre interview question like that? That's what you go get!
Richard Sherman, everyone.
I'm not Richard Sherman.
To think that if I graduated from Stanford with a comm degree and was at the top of my class, I could only be so eloquent.
In political news, Rand Paul has already been pegged as the GOP frontrunner for the 2016 election.
In news about the news, CNN is now pegging political frontrunners long before they can actually be established in a desperate attempt to have multiple viewers at the same time.
This new strategy is largely considered the reason why CNN has finally decided to fire Piers Morgan for being the most boring, charmless, and unintelligent British schmuck ever. In entertainment news, Miley Cyrus is still kicking.
Speaking of still kicking, Chris Brown. He's looking at 4 years in jail for failing anger management classes. In other entertainment news, Frozen continues to annoy audiences everywhere with constant new renditions of Let It Go. Not like we're guilty of that or anything.
At least 47 people have been admitted to mental institutions after whispering to themselves sweet nothings about building snowmen.
A recent study suggests that the new assassination attempts on President Ronald Reagan can be traced back to the new release of Frozen.
Zach, Ronald Reagan has been dead for years.
Oh yeah, but apparently subliminal messaging kind of like 30 years old, and with Easter coming around, it's important to make sure that the dead stay dead.
That's right, folks. Make sure to go over your zombie awareness and safety plans. Every Easter, we're reminded that rocks are no obstacle for the walking dead. Much like Lizzie's jump piece was no obstacle for Carol last Sunday. Am I right?
2 people apparently walking dead. We just can't risk another mass outbreak.
Another mass outbreak?
Yeah. That's a scary
A mass
thing.
outbreak?
Oh,
Forget
no.
it. You know what? Just forget it, seriously.
Okay, we're gonna drop that one.
Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio Under Appreciation Day happened earlier this month. There's one.
Leonardo DiCaprio Under Appreciation Day is where we celebrate where Leonardo DiCaprio, regardless of the quality of his acting, doesn't win an award. It's called the Oscars.
Here to talk with us about how the night turned out is Matthew Can you take your pants off?
You mean Matthew McConaughey? All right.
Thank you. It's great to be here, dude.
So Matthew, do you look like complete shit right now because you're preparing for a role?
Yeah, man. Well, man, I just try to get in character, Someone says I need you to play an ugly guy. Bam, here I am, ugly as hell, looking like a hobo. I just go with the flow, man.
Dude, that's completely fascinating. But so what's the upcoming movie that you got coming up?
Man, I just do what my agent tells me, man. It's like my mom always says, space-time got its own flow, and you just gotta go out and try to be God every day, and then bam, Oscar, right here.
Okay, but the movie. You were in the movie, right?
Oh, right. Well, man, I'm just playing some kid that's starring in a movie with Johnny Depp that spends the rest of his life getting looked over for an Oscar.
So you're saying you played Leonardo DiCaprio?
I mean, I'm not gonna give anything away, man, but Jennifer Lawrence is signed off for the flick, and we're just gonna try to have a good time up there in space, man.
It's in space?
Well, we figured the only way to go from Dallas Buyers Club was to set it in space, man. We saw the success like Gravity and The Artist and said, you know what? Black and white and in space. Color just finest, man, like Gravity.
Okay, Matthew, so let me get this straight. You're saying you're playing Leonardo DiCaprio in a new movie where you're in space, you have AIDS, and it's in black and white.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm playing Leonardo da Vinci or anything, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I have no idea.
But, I just go out and do my thing, and, things are what they are, man. People hate my movies, except for one. I had one good one, man. But I keep making them anyway, and things work out because, I'm good, man. I'm God, man.
Matthew cannot take his pants off, everybody.
So, that was interesting.
Much less interesting than when John Travolta officiated my wedding.
Did you just try and set us up for a cutaway guy?
Yes, I did. If it works for Seth MacFarlane, it can work for us.
Speaking of Seth MacFarlane, go watch Cosmos. This isn't, just go watch it. You'll blow your mind, literally.
There's no joke here, we're just shamelessly plugging the show. And if you need a better reason to watch something on TV, I will personally come punch you in and around your mouth after the show.
Do not test her. She will do it.
Done it.
I know, she has.
In campus news, the housing lottery left a swath of blood and destruction in its wake, which leads us to a new segment we like to call...
What the hell were you thinking with Zach and Emma?
First off, Stan, you require all underclassmen to live on campus, but you don't even have enough housing for them. What the hell were you thinking?
Seriously, your 2 new residence halls aren't big enough for all the leaders you admitted, so you dumped upcoming seniors into a sophomore dorm? What the hell were you thinking?
Didn't you just build a new residence hall for upperclassmen? What, are all the rooms in Rappahannock just janitor's closets and trash rooms? What the hell were you thinking?
Really, CNU, because a bell tower is totally more important than a bunch of homeless students wandering around the campus. What the hell were you thinking?
And that was What the Hell Were You Thinking with Zach and Emma.
Another major news, the Olympics in Sochi happened.
Following the infrastructural disaster that was the Sochi Games, the IOC recently announced that the 2018 Winter Games will be held in a technology waste disposal landfill in rural China.
Here to discuss the Sochi Games is the Olympic ringleader, Svetla. Welcome, Svetla. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Hello, American capitalist pig dogs.
Okay, hi Svetla. Is it true that Russia still is composed of all the stereotypes that have lingered on since the Cold War?
Absolutely, comrade. Okay, so Svetla, tell us a little about the games in Sochi. So what was up with the group toilets and whatnot that we saw in the West?
Well, you see, Emma, in Sochi, Russia, rabid dogs and orca whales have formed gangs and have been attacking everyone. So much you can't even take shit. As precaution, we poop in group now.
I'm sorry, orca gangs?
Da. See, they formed together. Oh, ever since we tried to take orca for opening ceremony, they formed gangs in countryside. The Russian mafia is totally eliminated. They call themselves Blackfish.
So you're telling me the missing orcas from the opening ceremonies are effectively starting a revolution?
It is Russia. It would not be Russia with no revolution. Stop laughing. That's not funny.
A historically poignant point.
Oh, nice alliteration.
Yeah, apparently one of our riders finally found a thesaurus.
But how do you explain the unfinished hotels, the lack of running water, and all that stuff?
It's simple. Orcas sabotage the work. You think great country like Russia can't finish building? We are strong, like bear. We know how to finish building, but orca, they're stronger and smarter. They've been waiting years for this.
So you're saying that the orcas have been plotting and planning all of this?
Da, it is why Grand Emperor Putin tried to call them personally with his bare hands. No work though, just make orca angry.
Oh, I see. So, Spella, what can you tell us about the ring lighting oopsie that happened in the opening ceremonies?
Gregor was responsible for that ring. Orcas got him right before ceremony.
Are orcas a pseudonym for something or like I don't...
No, literally, in Sochi, Russia, killer whales kill you.
Okay.
So stop laughing, it's not funny, it's real.
So is Russia just one giant shit fest? Is it?
Yes, this is why IOC think landfill good for next Winter Games.
Okay, and with that, thank you for stopping by, Svetla.
Stop, anytime. Clap for me, comrades.
Okay,
So, Zach, what else happened over the last few months?
Well, Fred Phelps just died.
Oh no, the hot swimmer died?
No, the homophobic asshole who started the West workout.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. Bye, audience.
Wait, no insult for our audience?
No, we're trying to make them like us now.
My God, what is happening to us?
No, my body's changing.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Well, I am not qualified to deal with. So, until April 19th, our next show on a Saturday, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, shameless plug. Just keep listening to the news.
Because we don't.
No, we don't. Also, if you were thinking about going home for Easter, just don't.
Yeah, Easter's dumb anyway. Zombies
Totally.
and stuff. Stupid. We're way more fun.
Yeah, totally.